Hey then everyone, so this is the ultimate guide to exclusivity on Amazon FBA, okay? I'm super excited to get into this video. Now, what is it? What are exclusive brand deals? What is exclusivity on Amazon, okay? So an exclusive brand deal is you landing a deal with a brand where you are the one and only seller for that specific brand or then specific lines of products on Amazon. Okay, and why is this so important, you may ask? Okay, so number one, price wars. You can see on the left, brand deals, there's no price wars at all. Standard wholesale, on the other hand, you are going to be having these price wars. You're not going to be benefiting from those no price wars. Okay, next, high profits. You can see on the left, it's high profits with exclusive brand deals. Standard wholesale, while it can be profitable, and it is profitable, it's like 50% of my business. I mean, highly profitable, okay? Highly profitable. With exclusive brand deals, of course, you can choose your price in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, you're able to increase your margin, increase your return on investment, increase everything, and make a better life for yourself. Next, I'm in the way of this one a little bit, but long-term business. You can see on the left, you can build a huge long-term sustainable business from doing exclusive brand deals. Whereas with standard wholesale, well, again, you can get products which may be able to sell for years, to be fair, but at the same time, other people can come and sell them. Other people can come and ruin your time when selling on Amazon, ruin your profitability just from being stupid, okay? So on the left, it is a long-term business, okay? Because it's going to be you building that relationship with that supplier over a long-term period, okay? Next, consistency, and it kind of links into what I just said. Consistency, you're going to be selling the product all year round for 3, 5, 10 years, okay? It depends how long you agree an exclusive brand deal for. It could be as long as the business is running. You know, there doesn't have to be a limit to it, but typically you're going to be looking at 3, 5, maybe even 10 years. Okay. Whereas the typical wholesale product, we all know wholesale, right? We're all sellers here watching this video, most likely. A typical wholesale product can last, 2 to 6 months. I've got some which I still sell to this day from 3 years ago, but it's not many at all. Not many at all, okay? So it's extremely consistent if you get an exclusive brand deal. So, who should do it? You! Most likely, if you're watching this video, you are an existing Amazon seller, okay? Now, loads of people in our community, our free community, are usually just Amazon sellers already. Whether they're doing arbitrage, whether they're only just started in wholesale, you should begin to start migrating to wholesale, doing a bit of that, and then going on to exclusive brand deals, okay? So when you've been selling on Amazon for a short amount of time, you should start exclusive brand deals, okay? So let's move on. There's 4 types of exclusive brand deals. If you didn't know already, there's actually 5 or 6 more which we talk about in our academy, but 4 just to keep it nice and simple, a little bit more simple. Okay, I don't want to overload you with information here, right? So number 1, the first type of exclusive brand deal is the brand is already selling on Amazon themselves, okay? So they're the only seller on Amazon. They're already selling their own private label products via FBA, and that's it. Period. Okay. Perhaps there's room for improvement, and that's where you're coming in and taking over for them and giving them a hands-off service. Second, the brand again is selling on Amazon themselves, but only by the FBA fulfillment method. So the brand is selling on Amazon. They're the only seller. Perhaps they're just selling their private label product, their own brand of mugs, for example. And you come in and you become the only FBA seller for them. Maybe just the only FBA seller, or they withdraw themselves from Amazon completely and you become their only seller and do it only on Amazon FBA for them. Okay. Number 3, the brand is on Amazon already. You know, it's got a good brand presence. The brand's selling on Amazon, but it's sold by people like ourselves, third party sellers, people like you and me. Now, this is probably the most common type of exclusive brand deal, and probably the best one that you could probably get, in my opinion, because you can provide the most benefits from doing this. Number three. So this is where, so we're just selling wholesale products essentially already. So for example, this brand of deodorant here, there's about 10 of us selling on the listing, but the listing's crap. We come in, we fix it, and we become the only seller for this, for example, right? Number four, okay, the brand is on Amazon. And I do like this one. I've had numerous conversations with brands about this one. So the brand's on Amazon, right? Amazon sell the brand, which means the brand is doing vendor central. So do you know when you come onto a listing, you see Amazon selling the product, and you're like, oh, I can't sell that product now. Perhaps you could get an exclusive brand deal with them. Who knows? Okay, because some of these brands sell directly to Amazon through Amazon's vendor central, and from the conversations that I've had, it's a nightmare. And while there's loads of benefits, there's loads of downsides to it as well. And a lot of brands are not happy with it. Okay, such as Amazon are just a nightmare to deal with, as I'm sure we all already know anyway. Okay, now there's so many benefits to these brands, these people, to use you as their sole distributor for Amazon, no matter what the brand is doing. All right, there's so many benefits. Now there's some more than others. Like I said, number three is probably the best. Number one is probably the worst, to be fair, in terms of how much value you can provide to them and how much how much it will benefit them. But here's a few. Number one, no price wars, right? No price wars. You're going to be stopping these price wars which are happening on Amazon, which in turn damage the brand's reputation and all these types of things. Next, better presence. You're going to be giving them a whole better presence on Amazon, better images, better bullet points, better descriptions, all these sorts of things. Next, less companies to deal with. Okay, so some of these brands, some of these companies may deal with hundreds of companies. Okay, they may sell to hundreds of different companies. Perhaps a lot of these are online ones. What if you just took that away from them and only made sure it was only you that they dealt with? There was only one location to ship with, and you were spending all the money rather than me personally. I would prefer one company to be spending all of their cash with me rather than 100 different smaller companies, placing one order here, one order there. It's just too confusing, right? Next, feedback. Feedback is very, very important. You can provide these brands with monthly feedback reports, weekly ones, probably not daily ones, so they can clearly see how their presence is doing, how they're growing on Amazon. All of these benefits here, you really need to understand why. Okay, why this is beneficial for the brand. Okay, so it's no good me just saying no. We're going to get rid of price wars. Yeah, we're going to give you a better presence on Amazon. You need to understand the why and the how. Why does it benefit them? Why does it benefit them? And why do we need to get rid of price wars? Like, okay, you say to the brand, yeah, we'll get rid of price wars, and they're like, okay, why do I care? Why do I care? You need to understand physically why it's beneficial to them. We talk a lot about this in our academy, but just a couple of things to know. I mean, for example, the price wars, like I just touched on them. If you're stopping the price wars, you're stopping people from damaging the brand's reputation by constantly undercutting, constantly fluctuating in price, which customers come back and repeat and buy. They're not happy with that sort of stuff. Okay, so you need to really understand. These are just a few benefits. There's numerous, probably 15 to 20, and you need to understand all of them, why they're actually beneficial to the brand. Okay, so when trying to work with a company, you need to also identify like what type of company they are. Okay, no, are they number one? Are they one of these large corporations? Look at this. You got the brands like Unilever. You got brands like Kellogg. Well, I shouldn't say brands, companies. Johnson and Johnson, P&G, Procter and Gamble, Nestle. Look, Nestle, right? Nestle. Look, you're never ever going to get an exclusive brand deal with these, right? Because we want to be getting a exclusive brand deal with the brand. Now look at this. Nestle own Kit Kat, Aero Crunch, Rolo, Smarties, all these types of things, all right? That's just in confectionery in one country, I think. They also own Wonka. They also own L'Oreal, and L'Oreal also own Garnier, Vichy, Maybelline, Kiehl's, all these types of things. They also own. Okay, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing there, but I don't know. But also they own. Apparently they own Ralph Lauren. The partners in Ralph Lauren. Well, I didn't even know that myself. But Nesquik we've got there. We've got Purina. We've got Felix. So Nestle own all of these companies. They're huge. They're massive. You're never going to get in contact with the right person here. You're probably never ever going to get an account open with this company at all, and you're definitely not going to get an exclusive brand deal with them. It doesn't make sense. They're too big. You're way too big for your boots on this one. And even if you were the biggest company in the world, biggest Amazon seller in the world, you still probably would not get a exclusive brand deal with them because there's no way of controlling it. Okay, so you need to identify these companies. There's loads of companies like this. I mean, these are just the big, the big five or six: Nestle, Procter and Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, Unilever, Kellogg's, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz. All of these people, all of these companies. Okay, I mean, definitely stay away from these. But there's numerous more. You just need to be able to identify them. Let's say if you go onto the manufacturer's website and you see there's just a list of a load of brands. You perhaps have a look at their presence on Google. You see they're in the United States. You see they're in UK. You see they're all around Europe. You're probably not going to be able to go ahead with it, right? So stay away from all of these ones. These are just multi-million and multi-billion pound companies, and they've got so much red tape, and you won't be able to get a deal with them. Okay. Next, you've got the medium-sized corporations, okay? So that now this becomes a little bit better, okay? Perhaps these are really big in your country, right? For example, these Warrior Crunch bars, they're reasonably big in the UK, and they have a little bit of presence internationally, okay? Have a little look on Google, perhaps look at, yeah, a big one is, are they on the stock market? If they're on the stock market, they probably fall under this one. Number one, the large corporations. But second one, medium-sized corporations. What's their sort of turnover? Are they doing like 10 million a year, for example? They sell into some supermarkets. I don't know. Perhaps they're big in your country and have a little bit of presence internationally. Perhaps you see them in Amazon. Perhaps you see it on Amazon, but perhaps you see it in Asda. Perhaps you see it in Morrison's, but not everywhere. Okay, you don't see it in all stores everywhere all of the time. Okay. These are a little bit harder. Okay, they're a little hard to get an exclusive brand deal, but they're 100% achievable. Okay, they still have a little bit of red tape. It still may be hard to get an account open with them. Still may be hard to work with them, but it's definitely achievable, especially if you're a reasonably big-ish company. And that's where I want you to get. So for me, for example, I probably would be able to get an exclusive brand deal with these types of companies. I've done work for companies like this in the past. Where while I've not got an exclusive brand deal with these ones at the moment, the medium-sized ones, I've done work with them in the past, and it may actually lead to exclusive brand deals in the future. Now, next, you've got the small to medium-sized national brands, okay? Now, these guys have a great presence, for example, in the UK or whatever country you're from. Sales are decent on Amazon. Perhaps they're not really in the supermarkets. They've got a good online retail presence. And yeah, they're a smallish company, about £5 million max annual turnover, somewhere around that area, and have like 5 to 50 employees. Okay, here you're going to be able to easily get in contact with people higher up within the company, perhaps even get in contact with the senior staff members, with the director, with the CEO, all these types of things. Okay, these small to medium national brands are fantastic, and again, you've got more benefits to provide to these sort of brands. Okay, because for example, if you go, I'm not going to go back actually, but these large ones here, they're global. They're global. They're everywhere. They're already established. They've got the best products which everybody wants and everybody already knows. These ones, for example, it's going to be your job to launch it in other countries, for example, or improve their presence, improve their sales. You're not going to be able to improve Coca-Cola's sales single-handedly, but you may be able to improve the sales of this Built Hamber Speed Wax, okay? And I nearly secured an exclusive brand deal with these company once before, and that's why I've included it in this example, okay? These ones are the best. Obviously, number two is the second best. But yeah, go for these small, medium, national brands, okay? Now, the how. How to actually go and secure these exclusive brand deals. Firstly, okay, so there's three ways, in my opinion. You can be straight up and just pitch it to a load of brands and focus on volume with emails, okay? Simple as that. You can get the reps in here. You can send it to so many people. And I have many scripts that I use and some of my Academy member students use. Now, not the most effective way, in my opinion, but I would say probably 1 in 100 brands want to have a serious conversation and a serious meeting with you. If you're just firing a load of emails, especially if these emails are going to the right people within these companies, 1 in 100, they're going to want to have a very serious conversation with you. Second, now I really like this method, and if you haven't already seen my TikTok videos where I have been calling suppliers, and I've done this on probably about 3 or 4. Second way, just phoning up the brand as normal for a wholesale account, okay? Just to sell their products. You see the products are selling well, and you just want to sell them. You know, if you don't get the exclusive brand deal, it doesn't make a difference to you. You're selling their products, okay? But while doing so, be very transparent about your business. Try to gather intelligence as well on how Amazon's going for them. What do they know about Amazon? What's going good? What's going bad? What do they want to do more of? What are they struggling with at the moment? How can you help them? All these types of things. Try and gather some intelligence when you're just trying to get the account open, when you're only trying to get the account open. Perhaps even briefly, and I say very, very briefly, touch on how you can help. Don't share too much at all, okay? Pique their interest, okay? Pique their interest and pull it back away from them. And try and have another proper conversation, either in person or on Microsoft Teams or Zoom or something like that, okay? Pique their interest and have a real conversation about it at a later date. And the reason I say that as well, because one, yeah, you can meet them in person, meet them face to face over Zoom or something, and two, it can give you time to provide them with like a monthly report or a whole brand report, which we actually provide you. If you're a member of the academy, we teach you how to do like a whole exclusive brand report, which will absolutely blow the brand's mind. Where they're at now, where they can be, what they are, sort of where they're lacking, what's doing good, how you can help them, where you can improve, what the competitors are doing, all these types of things. We give you a template for that. But third, build a relationship with them over time, right? Now, this can link in with the second point, but it can be done by itself. But when you've been working with a brand for like, say, 3, 6, 9 months, all these months, right? Okay, you begin to know the people within the company, you begin to know them personally, and it becomes much easier to have these harder conversations with them because everyone's barrier is down. They trust you. Yeah, a level of trust has been built with each other. And yeah, they're going to be more inclined to listen to you, for one, and more inclined to work with you, okay? Now, I've sold some products from a brand at a break even before. Now, this is extreme, just to build up the relationship, okay? Now, while it didn't allude to an exclusive brand deal, it led to me getting better prices and then became profitable. A slightly different strategy, which we'll talk about in another video. However, this can lead to you building the relationship because if you put your money where your mouth is, you start selling their products. While I don't always advise, I would never really advise too hard on selling a product at a loss or selling it at a break even. But if it's for a specific strategy and you do have the money, you have the cash for it, perhaps you could consider this. Okay, now who should you contact? Who should you contact? You need to be contacting people high up within the company. Whether you speak to the CEO directly or the account manager, the sales manager to go ahead and contact the CEO. Just make sure it's not the receptionist, okay? Receptionist, which may be lovely, but you're not going to get anywhere, basically. You will get nowhere with the receptionist. You need to be speaking with the senior members of staff, the national account managers, the CEOs, the directors. Okay, so perhaps even when you call up, this is a cool trick. If you have a look, especially if it's one of the small corporations, right? Go onto company's house, type in their company name, see who owns it, and phone up the company and just say, "Hi, can I speak to Paul, please?" And say that with confidence. And when you're saying Paul, you're saying it just by the first name, okay? Just by the first name, and acting like you sort of know Paul, who is the director in this example. And they put you through to Paul, and you just say, "Hey, can I speak to Paul, please?" And they go, "Oh, who's speaking, please?" "Adam." That's it. Or Adam from X company, okay? That's all you need to say. Sometimes they'll put you through, sometimes they won't, but it's definitely worth a try, right? Now, you land a meeting, you pitched it to the brand, they're interested. Like, now what? Now what? What do you do now? What can you do? Now, you need to understand the importance of sales. Okay, you need to understand the importance of sales. Sales is everything, and it's the key to everything. Now, when I say sales, it's not just you pitching your services. It's you positioning yourself as the expert and diagnosing their problem. I nearly couldn't say that, guys. Diagnosing their problem. Okay? Ask plenty of questions, find their pain points, and see if you're a right fit for each other. Okay? Now, think about it. What would a doctor do? What would a doctor do if you went in for a doctor's appointment? Okay, you walked into the room, they would begin asking you questions. And they wouldn't just ask you one, they'd ask you multiple questions. Multiple, 20 to 30 questions. How long has it been here for? Does it affect this? Are you having these problems? All these types of things. Have you tried this medication? Are you doing this? Loads of these types of things. They will ask you so many questions because they need to. They need to find out what the problem is. Because if they say yes to one thing, it could mean it's one thing. If they say no to another thing, it could mean it's a completely different thing. Okay. So they're just trying to gather intelligence so they can diagnose the problem and give a solution. Okay. Give a solution for it. And it's the same. It's the same with these brands. It's the same with, anytime you're trying to bring someone on board for anything. You're asking them questions, you're gathering intelligence, finding out what the problem is, diagnosing their problem, and giving them a solution for it. Okay. Make sure, so we've just gone through that, find their pain points, and also I put the end here. See if you're a right fit for each other, because perhaps you can solve their problem, perhaps you diagnose it, you want to work together, well, they want to work with you. You might not want to work with them. Like, don't just follow money, okay? Because if you're not a right fit for each other and you don't feel like you're clicking with that brand or that person at that brand, or you simply don't like them, if you don't like them, like, it's not going to work out in your favor in the long term, is it? Like, you're going to be having problems in the long term, especially if you don't feel like that level of trust is there and all these types of things, okay? So, let's move on. Make sure you work on your USP and MDP. Now, what do they mean? One, it means the unique selling point, USP. Next is the MDP, market dominating position. Now, we talk a lot, like this is a long subject, okay? A very long subject, but it's ultimately what makes you unique, what makes you stand out, and what makes you completely different from everybody else. Okay, we talk a lot about this in our academy. Like I said, yes, what makes you stand out, and what will ultimately win you over other companies. Okay, because they'll be speaking to other companies. It won't just be you trying to get an exclusive brand deal with them. There'll be other people speaking to them, right? Or they'll be speaking to other people. Okay, so when you secure the deal as well, this is very important. make sure you under promise in these meetings, under promise and over deliver. Okay, if you're under promising, you're saying you're going to do this, this, and this. That's pretty much it. But then you go ahead and you do 7 things which they didn't even know about, and you say, "Oh, I've also done this extra thing, this one, this one, this one." It's going to be great for building that relationship even more, wowing them as well, and also it can lead to way more beneficial things. They can give you better pricing. They can see you putting in the work, and ultimately, it shows that you're working hard because it's going to be a long-term relationship, right? Okay, but we can show you this. We can show you everything, all the ins and outs. Okay, all the ins and outs. So if you want to learn more on the how to actually do it, we have more in-depth screen sharing videos, going all into the MDP, the types of exclusive brand deals, how to go ahead and secure them, scripts, contracts, my unique Amazon blueprint for absolutely securing any exclusive brand deal. Loads and loads and loads and loads of things we go through in like a screen shares, more in depth, 20 loads of 20-30 minute videos, about 4 or 5 hours worth of content. Make sure you check out our academy. It's down below. That's where we go through everything. So if you're interested in that, it's not much at all. We've got a special offer on right now. So make sure you go and have a look. Much for watching. Make sure you drop a like, follow, subscribe, comment down below. See you soon.